Today, from Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, it's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Denver Broncos taking on the Detroit Lions.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Taken at the goal line. And they'll be backed up a bit to start as he's out of bounds at the 16. Smith going to go to the air first play. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
The first carry now. This is Williams. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. This one swung out to Williams. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as he'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And the Lions will take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more yards there, and quickly another first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
1st and 10, Taylor now. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
From the 16, Herbert. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Herbert able to to show his wheels as he gets the first.
Facing second and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not just handle this one? Got all the yards he needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
Here's Herbert. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. From 3 yards out. And the Lions will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain, his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
Here we go. Yellow, 43.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And taken at the 46. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, 36 yards. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point attempt to follow here. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Denver's offense now set to go. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. They begin the drive with Williams. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. The 30, 10, 5, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Javonte Williams with his 14th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
84 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
So, Charles, you know, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season, because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Now it's Herbert. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory. Down at the 31.
On the counter, it's Taylor.
And room there to work it inside the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
2nd down, another run with Taylor.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Up the middle, here's Taylor.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3.
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown.
Jonathan Taylor
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Lions have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 21-7. A 10-play drive that time.
And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Denver Broncos back out there. Former Tar Heel Javonte Williams, we shine the spotlight on him.
And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and just a yard. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
92 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Smith on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
A 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And look at this, it's a fake. Oh, and this turns into a mess as it's intercepted.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Lions are going to take over at their own 41. And sometimes the fake punts work out. They're fun, and you're so smart for doing it. And sometimes, Charles, what happens is an epic fail, and what we just saw was an epic fail.
And you're right about that, because the key here is the element of surprise. You have to catch a defense completely unaware that this might happen, this might occur. Unfortunately, somehow they tipped it off, or they were just well coached and on their toes.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Man, let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Back to Taylor on first down. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 18 more yards there and another first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Again, it's Taylor. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up. And
Herbert has it knocked free.
But I believe a Lion was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession.
We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
And in for the Lions touchdown. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Lions have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Well, only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Back to throw, Smith. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Phillips.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
The Broncos send out their punter now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line.
And the Lions going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds a defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
He's airing it out for Williams. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown
with career touchdown number 70.
And the Lions are able to add on to their first half lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Extra point attempt here still to come. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start by heading out west to Glendale, Arizona. And it's the Cardinals who are out in front as that game draws closer to halftime. The Cards locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, 4 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. Justin Fields leading the way in the victory with...
Back from the locker rooms here a bit early. The final 2 quarters of the NFL starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use Fortnite.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That
Thank
means
you.
2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs. Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back on that counter play?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down.
They run once more with Taylor on a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. With 207 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. From the gun, it's Taylor.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor.
They find some open field here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Jonathan Taylor.
36 yards.
And the Lions have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. On 1st and 10, Smith. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10, Smith. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Here we go. 10 black.
first down. It's Smith. And a quick throw here. That's complete. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Smith. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one.
A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And Detroit back in possession of the football. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure you have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think this lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
He's got this complete to Williams.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
The partner still in the 3rd quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the 4th quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that. The nickel look, 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Breece Hall hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season.
And the Lions have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Denver's offense ready to go again. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
On second down, Williams. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
112 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Out of the gun, Smith. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Herbert. Throwing left side, it's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the 4th quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
To throw again on 2nd down. Herbert. And he's got it. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead.
And that is caught, and the record is his. It's a touchdown.
Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it was Jameson Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
On 1st down, Smith. Throwing right, and that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Throwing is Smith.
He'll drop this down to Williams.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Here's Smith. Looking left side, he's got it complete. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down. From the gun, here's Smith. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch it, turn upfield, and pick up the 1st down.
The offense on 3rd down, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time it's 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Smith. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Throwing again is Smith. And he will find his man on the end route, complete.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every...
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Now Herbert following the turnover. Seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
They'll try the left side with Taylor. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time. So make sure you get in shape.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On the handoff, Taylor. And he's got room. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Herbert now. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
I like the thought process. I like the design, but I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man because if you're going to run that drag route, you've got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until his receiver's too close to the sideline and they don't get the yards after the catch.
4 yards remain for 2nd down.
Now we give to Taylor. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Throwing on second and long. Smith. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
3rd and long. It's Smith.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. One last throw here for Smith. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he will have a Broncos first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off season, but on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw